Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. Thank you for dropping by today. I hope you enjoy this project. This is the project I have to share with you today. It's this little picnic hamper. Look at that, isn't that cute? And it opens here on either side just like a picnic hamper does. There's a flap and then a flap like that, so you can have it up like this. And it's a really good size box, so you can put a lovely little gift in it. It measures 5 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches deep, so really good sized little box. You could put, as I said, lots of lovely goodies in, and the theme for this was a spring or summer picnic, so that's what I've done there. So let's make a different one here, different colorway rather. This one here was Blackberry Bliss, and the paper here is Bubblegum, the cardstock. This designer series paper here is a delightfully eclectic DSP pad, designer series paper. This time we're doing, as I said, Night of Navy, and this piece here measures 9 inches by 7 inches, and we're going to score at 2 inches on all sides. So that's 2 inches, twist, 2 inches, twist, 2 inches, twist, and 2 inches. Okay, so that's that piece done. Now we're going to bring in our lid. Our lid this time is Fresh Freesia, and our lid measures 7 1/16 by 5 1/16, and we are going to score here at 1 inch from either side. So 1 inch, twist it all the way around 180 degrees again, and 1 inch. And then we're going to score it at 3 inches and at 4 inches. Going to turn it, one turn, and we're going to score again at 1 inch, and then twist it round and at 1 inch. So another way to think about it is to score at 1 inch on all sides, and then bring it back into the horizontal position and score at 3 inches and 4 inches. But there will be a template. You can see here my templates, and these will be on the blog post on my website, and you'll find the link to that in the description box below, so you can make a template of your own, and all the information about the project, the supply list, cutting measurements, etc., everything will be on that blog post. So let's fold on all of our score lines before we do some cutting. So this is when a bone folder is invaluable. I'm sure you've heard me wax lyrical about this many a time. It's one item people forget, and I think it's a really essential part of your basic crafting kit. It really helps in so many ways to get a lovely crisp fold there. So let's do our lid. And I love the contrast of the dark and the light colours. I used Night of Navy because that's going to be the colour you'll see in our paper that we're using this time. It's still a delightfully eclectic paper. I love this paper pad. It gives so many different options. Okay, everything is folded well and good. So let's give this one more fold here. Make sure it's a really crisp fold. Didn't feel so well. Yeah, that's good now. Get your scissors out. We're going to be doing the base first. Let's bring in our base template, as you can see. And with it in the horizontal position, you're going to cut along the score line, up to the score line on both sides. So you're going to do that for all 4 sides. So like that, and the same on the other side. So you've released these 4 little tabbies, and then for each of these tabs you're going to give them what's called a mitre cut. So that just means cutting a little bit off at a slight angle, just like that, as you can see. You're going to do that either side of each of your 4 tabs, and the reason you do this is it just helps when you're putting your box together for it to come together really nicely without anything sticking out. But sometimes our scoring and cutting hasn't always been perfect, and this just helps to mitigate any of those problems that might arise. So let's just do this last one quickly here. And that's our base done. So we can get rid of these scraps. And now we can check against our template. Does everything look the same? And it does. So that's always a good thing. Set that aside for now while we work on our lid. Now again, I've got my template here. And again, in the horizontal position, you're going to do the same as before. Cut up the score line to the score line. Except here you've got more to cut, so you've got 4 cuts to make on either side. You're going to do the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now for each of these 1-inch little tabbies, here, you guessed it, we're going to do that same mitre cut we did before. And this really does make such a difference in stopping things hanging out where they shouldn't hang out. So let's just want to take off a small slither, not a lot, just a small bit, just at a very slight angle. As you can see, I'm not taking off huge amounts. I'm just working around doing all of the tabs. We're nearly finished here. And this is the last one. Okay, done. So we'll get rid of these pieces now. Bring in our template and see if everything matches, and it does. That's always a good sign. As I said, time to stick down our designer series paper. I have here this pattern from the Delightfully Eclectic pack, DSP pack, and the measurements, as I said, for all of this will be on the blog post. So I'm not going to give you all of them now because there's quite a few measurements, and it's much easier if you just go to the blog post and find them all there. So let's see there. Okay, if you can't find it on my website, if you just search something like box or bag, gift box, picnic hamper, Delightfully Eclectic, any of those kind of things, you will find it. And you'll find I've actually made this box before, this picnic hamper before, in a different colourway. I think it was a year or 2 ago. So you can check out that post as well and see that one too. But I wanted to make again. I film a lot way ahead of time. So when I'm filming this, it's actually the beginning of June. But it won't go out till sometime in July. And I've been watching the Chelsea Flower Show on TV last week at the end of May. And when I lived in London, some of you will know I was born and bred in London before I moved here to Lincoln. We used to go every year to the Chelsea Flower Show. I loved it, and I do miss going there. But it's such a trek from here to go there that we don't go so much now. My mother's mobility is not always the best to go there. But we used to go every year. One of the highlights for us was, yes, seeing all the gardens and the flowers. It was gorgeous, make no mistake. But one of the highlights was having a picnic on the grass in front of the bandstand. And they always had a band playing. Quite often it was the one I loved the best was when it was the old guardsmen. So it was guards who've retired from the force, but were musicians, and they still want to play. And so they do play, and they formed a band, and they play some of the old easy listening music, like Putting on the Ritz, some of the stuff from the 30s and the 40s. And it was just lovely having a picnic listening to them playing. So I was watching that and thinking back to those days, and it reminded me of this picnic hamper I'd made, and I decided to make it again. So that's my story. Well, I've stuck down all of my pretty paper. Look at that, isn't that lovely? one more piece of paper. I have a piece here of fresh freesia, and this measures 1 inch by 8 inches, by 8¼ inches I should say. And then I've got a piece here of designer series paper, and I'm just going to mat this. This is when it's so nice to have the wriggle room of some wet glue to get things nicely lined up. Whoops. Just like that. Okay, so let us build our box. Let's bring back our base here, and we're going to put glue on these tabs here. So you could use tear and tape for this. I wouldn't use seal, I don't think it's strong enough, but you could also use maybe Steel Plus, would work well. But as I said, I do like the wiggle room that my Tombow gives me. So you're just going to bring up your tab to meet your side wall here, like that, and make your box. So fold in your tab to meet your side wall. Keep everything as straight and perpendicular as possible. Make your box. And do the same on all 4 sides. And this is when doing the mitre cutting means that nothing will stick at the top of the box here. Okay, so that's your box done. So we're going to make our lid, and we're going to firstly just put some glue on these outer 4 tabs here. So there we go. And then we're going to do exactly the same. Bring this in, tuck this in to meet the side wall, keeping everything as straight as you can. Tuck this in, meet the side wall, keep it nice and straight and join together. And of course you get glue over. If you're like me, you get glue everywhere and over your fingers. Just can't help it. Seems to be my fingers attract glue, I think. And I hate having glue on my fingers. Just one of those things, sod's law, isn't it? I hate having glue on my fingers, and there's always glue on my fingers. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. So now we can attempt to fit this into our box. I'm going to fold in these side tabs because I want these to go inside the box, and then everything else will go outside the box. And just take your time. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. So now it's time to put some glue on these 2 tabs. And you want to put the glue on the outside of the tab here. Okay. And then you're going to fit this back down with your tab inside and just bring it to meet so it's horizontal with your straight, flush with your base, just like that, and pinch. And the same on the other one. You want to bring it in so it's inside, and you want to bring it, I don't know if you can see so well, flush like that with your inside, and pinch hard so the glue will take. And there you can see now, if you look inside, your tabs are there, and then your other pieces fit over the edge like that. Okay, so now we're going to put our, last but not least, we're going to make our handle. I'm going to use my bone folder again. From the center I'm going to go one way and then the other way until I get a curve that I'm happy with, and you can see here this is just going to curve around and sit like that, and this just helps to break down the fibres of the paper and so that you can get this nice curve. So put a bit of glue on my box because then I know exactly where it's going to go. I'm going to lift up one of my ends here, and then I'm going to slot this into the gap that's there, and I want everything to, hopefully as possible, look flush. So I'm going to put that there and check. Yep, that looks okay-ish. So we're going to do the same now on this side. We're going to put some glue here in this gap here, and then I'm going to move this out the way a little bit just so I can get my fingers inside the box. I'm going to make this flush, get my fingers inside so I can pinch it to hold it, and then that's it. There we go. There are your 2 picnic hampers ready for your picnic. Yeah, isn't that cute? So I hope you like this project. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And please don't forget to subscribe to future projects. As I said, if you're wanting more information about it, it's all on the blog post. And you'll find that in the links below, as well as my social media links, including the link to my Facebook group where I host a monthly online card club. And if you're in the Lincoln area, I've also started in-person classes here in Lincoln, so do check out my website for all that information. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.